In this clip, I'm going to talk about this laptop. It's a 2021 16-inch MacBook Pro with 32 gig of RAM and the M1 Pro chip. I've been using it for the last 3 months and I've been so impressed by the battery efficiency and the processing power performance that I thought it was worth making a little clip about. Coming right up. Hello again world, my name is Carlos and welcome to my channel Feel Good Footage, where I just talk about techniques and tips and equipment to create better content. Whether you film, whether you edit, whether you produce, hopefully you'll find something of value in the clips that I make. So for the last 3 months I've been working at an agency full time. Before I give the laptop back, I just wanted to give my testimony on the laptop as I've used it, which has been as a video producer, a lot of editing, some After Effects and things like that. I suppose the first thing that really struck me was just how incredibly power efficient this MacBook Pro is. I decided one day to really kind of log how it was performing. It was a day that I was pretty much editing throughout the whole day, working to get a clip ready for delivery that day. So I made a point of noting down where the battery level was during the day. So absolutely astonishing, really, compared to my kind of usual experience. I'll just show you for reference. This is my own 17-inch Windows laptop. It's got an Intel i7 processor in. I think it's got 16 gig of RAM, this one. Got a desktop set up as well for Windows. But in terms of a laptop, a sort of like-for-like comparison, this is, I think I bought this 2 years ago, and very happy with it. You know, it's a desktop sort of replacement. It's obviously fairly weighty. It does the job for me perfectly. I mean, I take it on shoots, I take it on trips, I work around the house with it sometimes. But what is absolutely the case with this laptop is that once it's unplugged, the power level will drop like a stone. So I'd be lucky to get an hour if I was working, you know, on some sort of editing with it. By comparison, obviously, the MacBook Pro is absolutely sensational. It really impressed me in terms of just how long the battery would last. And that all comes down, I guess, primarily to the efficiency of that M1 chip. It really is something special. So the next thing that really kind of made me think it's worth documenting this and kind of just putting a testimony out there is that I was working on one project with a colleague in the agency who's a motion graphic designer. And again, it was sort of reaching delivery of a particular project. We had a lot to kind of get out the door that day, which he'd created in After Effects, and we needed to render them out and get them sent out to the client for approval. Now, if you've ever worked with After Effects, you know how intensive that can be. So he has a MacBook laptop, and we were working side by side. We both came into the office. I said, listen, why don't I work alongside you? You can share the After Effects project with me on my MacBook. I can export them out and we'll kind of split the workload. He would do one comp and I would do another. So they weren't exactly the same comps, but my machine was putting things out about 3 times faster than his one. And just for comparison, let's quickly have a look at what his spec on his MacBook is. So where does that leave us? It's great, obviously, if a machine, a laptop will hold a charge or will be very efficient with its power draw. However, when I bought my Windows laptop, one of the drivers wasn't really to work without a power cord. It was just to be able to move around at different locations, always expecting really to be plugged in power as required. So in terms of that, it's not a huge driver for me, though it's obviously beneficial to have something that you don't have to plug in. You're not kind of rushing to plug in to make sure that the computer doesn't power down completely on you. What is an absolute advantage is having a machine, a laptop that will just render things out quicker. That makes a huge difference when you've got a volume of work to kind of export. I was incredibly grateful that I had the MacBook to hand, slashing the export time for those After Effects comps. In particular with After Effects, as I understand it, the CPU and RAM is much more important than the GPU. So again, it really plays to the strengths of that M1 chip. In terms of whether I'd buy a MacBook myself, I'm not sure. I'm not in the market to buy one now anyway. I'd consider maybe an iMac. I still do think Apple products are generally overpriced for a variety of reasons. But what I'm absolutely convinced about and why I've determined to make this clip is that the performance on that M1 chip is something special. And if you're buying something from new yourself now, it's absolutely, I can only endorse it. I can only endorse the performance that I've seen, I've witnessed, that I've benefited from in the last 3 months. So hopefully you found this clip useful. If you did, a like would be fantastic. Any comments, any thoughts, any questions, just stick them in the comments below. I try to answer those as soon as possible. Maybe check out some of the other clips on the channel. They may be of use. In the meantime, wish you every success making better content.